our little title tells us, how you doing today? Well, baby, if you are Kate Middleton, that Prince Charles and Camilla reign won't let up. Now, if you guys haven't been paying attention to my reels thing, don't worry, there's a whole playlist. You can go check the video. But if you don't know, right, Camilla and Kate have been at war. And by that, I mean Kate is competitive with Camilla, the new queen. Now, according to reports, she doesn't think Camilla's worth it. She doesn't think Camilla deserves to be there. And all this stuff. They somehow think that they are going to Meghan and Harry, Charles and Camilla, because like I said, William is getting off them. This is all my opinion in my mind, of the hearts and soul of the people and not being with his father because they hate what Charles did to his mother with Camilla's help, right? Well, every time I hear that, I think of like Charles creeping around and Diana being like, where are you going? And her hearing the sound of a horse quietly eating apples out the orchard and being like, Charles, how could you? Let me stop, right? Let me leave Camilla alone and let her eat her oats and whey. So anyway, right? To get back to what I was saying, right? So they've been planning stories about how Kate is the strong guiding force behind Camilla, how she's this and that and ready to ascend the throne. And William's been putting in pieces about how nobody likes Charles. But like I said, well, William, it's not that okay, fine. Nobody likes Charles, but at least they feel something for him. Again, William, we feel nothing for you and Kate. You guys are boring. They don't rise to the level of being annoying. They're just boring. That's why I was shocked when they went to the Bahamas. All those protests, because they were probably shocked, like, oh my God, people know we're here. Literally, I feel like sometimes they go to the state dinners and like William and Kate feel like they're poltergeists. Kate opens her mouth to speak. Everyone just looks and turns their head. William says something and people are like, okay. And then the grown-ups get back to talking. I literally think like they were shocked, like, oh, people know we're here. They know we exist. They are a cold, unseasoned a bowl of oatmeal just sitting there, lumpy, annoying. You kind of forget it's there, but eventually when you do notice it's there, you do have to throw it away. What's the latest way that Charles is making Kate and William feel his wrath? Listen, this could be unrelated, right? You guys might think I'm reaching, but why is now there are people on British TV who are very cozy with the Daily Mirror and all of Charles's friends saying the reason why Kate is popular because she's very traditional and an old-fashioned mute woman. First, they put up that picture of her looking like Tales from the Crypt. And again, I will admit, it was Photoshop, but not that much. They basically just turned up the lighting a little bit so you could really see all her wrinkles. If anything, Kate, just like Khloe Kardashian and just like Portia Williams, is a huge fan of FaceApp. And so is the British media. But let's get into this, because listen to this video. I found it hilarious. Just listen. Hold on.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. Yeah. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola.
There it is.
Take note, Nicola, baby. I know, literally, Charles and Camilla were sitting there and their 70-year-old realist saying, and William, that's how you do a hit piece. Kate, that's how you assassinate someone's character. You lean into the narrative that they've been pushing the whole time and destroy them. Didn't you see what I did to your mama, Diana? And y'all really thought you were going to come here with the fact that Kate is the silent hand, like power behind Charles and Camilla? Camilla that wormed her way to the top. Charles that literally tried to go on a smear campaign against the most beloved royal in the 20th century. All because somebody said a man and a horse should not be married. Yeah, that's right. But anyway, let's get into this. Because one of the reasons why Catherine is so popular, because they keep trying to push these stories of Kate being great, Kate being popular. You know, this is Kate's dream fantasy amongst certain demographics, because William and Kate have been saying, oh, well, the royalists love us, and this and that, and the monarchy is what? The reason why you're so successful, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't tell, doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman. Listen, I'm not a fan of Charles. Camilla, you guys know I hate any monarchy, anything that gives you superiority over others in general, but definitely only because of blood, not even merit, just blood, right? I just hate the concept. I don't think certain people are superior to others. I think I'm not going to get into my view on humanity, but needless to say, I find the whole idea of monarchy distasteful. However, I will give credit where credit is due. Charles, that picture of Catherine, since Catherine wanted to be center stage, Kate wanted to still Remembrance Day. Remember when she was vying for attention with the Queen and with Meghan and all this stuff? Last time Meghan was there, she thought Camilla would be easy pickings and she could just shush her out of the way, and the Middleton PR machine could wrap it up in some, you know, the silent hand steadying, all this other stuff, more glamorous, you know, that whole thing, right? And Charles sat there and said, oh, not today, not today. I just got egged, not today, Kate. Charles, bravo on the Daily Mirror cover. And this 1-2 punch about the reason if you are so popular, the reason why you're popular is because you are nothing but a broad mare, someone that does very well with sitting still, being quiet, and keeping thy mouth shutted. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Listen, I am enjoying them. Literally self-destruct. I'm enjoying them walking things back. What's the latest thing that they've actually walked back? So remember when Meghan was in the UK, right? We remember it, right? It was like the Dante's Inferno. And Meghan was very, very involved in activism, right? And everybody was telling her, shut up, sit down, royals are being political. How dare you say Black Lives Matter? How dare you say that women should be treated with respect? How dare you say that little girls should have voices? Now, why was the reason for that? It's simple, because they didn't want Meghan putting ideas in people's heads. Kate's job is to stand there and look Photoshop pretty, right? It didn't help that if your job is to stand there and look pretty, Kate, you have some of the worst style. You just worst style, right? So the only people that would think that you look stylish are 60-year-olds. And I want to say men, but I think just like not even 60-year-olds, 80-year-olds, and they don't even know what the new styles are. So they're like, I guess you look appropriate. That's what I wore to prom. It's odd. It's 2022 and you're wearing my prom dresses, but I guess, right? Anyway, they were telling Meghan, shut up, be quiet. The perfect woman is Kate. Kate just shows up, she smiles, she gives beautiful children, and that's it. Well, guess what? Since Meghan is now being applauded by the world for her activism, right? For the way that, again, it might not be the most forceful stand, because at the end of the day, Meghan has a lane. But Meghan never said she was a revolutionary. She just said that she was an activist for women's rights, right? And she wanted to speak about it. And she thought she could use her royal platform to give it, because she said, we all want women to be paid equally, right? And to have access to things for menstruation and to be treated, to which everyone was like, oh, no, that's too political. And she's like, wait, so we don't all want women to be treated equally? I'm a little confused, right? And the royal establishment said, yes, dear, you are a bit confused. And they tried to shame Meghan and said it wasn't royal and all this stuff. Well, guess what? Now that Meghan is being applauded by the JFK Institute, now that people are talking about her activism, now that people are talking about her voice, The royals, once again, are trying to rewrite history. And let me just stop, side note, right? But I'm going somewhere with this. This is my issue with the royals. I don't know if it's misplaced arrogance, hubris, or just stupidity, or all three, right? All three. The fact that they still act like they are the royal record. They still act like it is 1923. Nobody has TV. No magazines have access unless they say so. And the only way we know about what's going on in the world is by what they tell us. We were just there 2 years ago, 3, whenever. We saw what was said. We saw what you did. For God's sakes, the articles are still available online. And where you literally tried to tell us that Meghan was a monster for caring about others and doing the, and I don't care what you say, it was courageous for what Meghan said, but let's be real. Unless you are in an incredibly repressive society, Meghan was actually saying very safe things. People should be treated equally. There shouldn't be a pay gap because of women. Women and girls should be given the same opportunity as men. Women should be educated. It's not revolutionary. It's basic human rights, right? Meghan spoke out about it. She got her hand slapped. But now that she's getting so many accolades and her train for human rights is really going on, now they're trying to say that Meghan's activism, the stuff she was doing before she ever met Harry, followed in the footsteps of other royals. The footsteps of other royals. Meghan's activism follows. They are now, and they're actually even trying to circulate a rumor that they had to beg Meghan, beg her to do activism as a royal. Meghan didn't want to do it. Meghan, the UN ambassador, Meghan had spent her whole life from the time she was old enough to write a letter to Santa. She was writing letters about women's rights. Meghan had to be told by the royals to step up and work. I figured one thing out though. Every bad article they write about Meghan, I really now think they are taking Kate's name, doing Control F in Word document and substituting it for Meghan's name, because you cannot tell me, you can't tell me that Meghan Markle, Miss 5 a.m. emails, Miss 11 o'clock, hey, when you get into the office, had to be forced to be a do-gooder and change for good. Anyway, let's get into this. What's the, what did they say, right? What is it? Oh, let me just say, okay. The Queen has made domestic violence a cornerstone of her public campaign. That's great. While the Princess of Wales focuses closely on the mental health of mothers and the promotion of women in sport. How? Besides the early years and saying that it's important children are treated well when they're young, right? Even though I don't agree with her overall message, because her overall message is if you mess up in the early years, you're kind of screwed up as an adult. And if that's the case, 85, 95, 97% of the world, it's over for us, right? And also promotion of women in sport. How? By joining the rugby team and saying women should play along, right? The Countess of Wessex works for the UN for the protection of women from sexual violence and wars. Okay, fine, that's good. Princess Royale, I guess that's Princess Anne, has been a lifelong supporter of women in STEM and military. And the late Queen Elizabeth II is regularly held up as one of history's most influential women, reigning through the decades. You guys, I just want to say this. I don't think that even the royals, the fact that they don't understand that supporting or being a patron is not the same as being an activist. And the fact that when Meghan was an activist, they tried to treat her like she was a revolutionary. Again, being a revolutionary is a great thing, but Meghan was an activist, not so much a revolutionary. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I know Charles is taking his revenge on Kate. I know that William is probably doing damage control. I know that their trip to Boston is going to be a horrible, horrible failure. And I can tell you this much. Meghan keeps glowing and growing. And you know what? I can't wait for the other mic drop moment. I thought it was BS when the British papers released this, that Meghan wants to be president of the United States. And I'm not saying that Meghan wants to be president of the United States, at least not now. I am saying when you look at Meghan's powerful friend group, her ability to charm everyone, her ability to actually want to see change, but in the confines of changing the existing structure, not revolutionary, burning it down and building a new one. Meghan, if she wants, has a huge, and her great media instincts and her ability to hire people that have equally great instincts. Meghan, if she chooses, would have a great career in politics. And I think right now, Meghan is figuring out what she wants to do with her new access, her privilege, all this other stuff, right? And also raising children and blah, blah. But I wouldn't be surprised if Meghan does go into politics. And hold on, it's a call, I gotta take it. And if she does, baby, woo! Saltine Island is going to explode. I called it first. Meghan for something 2032. All right, my little tattletoes. I will talk to you later. Bye.